Well, it looks like the teams are ready for this matchup as we got the Terriers Gaming Squad versus Maryland University in the grand finals of this winter showcase for the UPA College. Lined up, ready to go. I'm excited to get this one going for game number one of this best of three. Joe, you said defense is going to be big to see who can shut down that speed. If you can shut it down, if you're Maryland, you're going to be putting yourself in good standings to try to force a bracket reset here in the grand finals for that chance at $2,000 going towards the champion of this match. I think it's going to be fun to watch. What would you say going into a matchup where you're punching above the belt, you're trying to make an upset? What's the biggest focus if you were in that position?
It kind of goes back to what I was saying. It's just you have to work on do your job in one possession at a time. As long as you focus on that and just continue to score, not like that, you'd be in a good spot.
Yeah, Clee's going to open things up already for the Terriers. You can see if you could drive down the court, get yourself a play back, keeping it inbound still for Maryland. We're going to see if they can get a quick answer from just outside the paint. It's not going to be good, but still with possession, holding on. Another three-point attempt, but another one wide. So it's a drive back down for the Terriers to see if they can continue this role in game number one. Venom across the court. Clue, man on. You see Venom still holding on just outside that paint. See if he can get things going in for the layup there for shows, and it's good.
And you see immediately kind of how we talked about trying to build that easy takeover early. You saw that first possession, easy corner cut as he's coming up the floor. Second one hitting the easy slip. He's getting closer to that takeover bar. He's looking at about, almost close to 2 bars at that point. And you're starting to look at danger zone. You need to be able to slow him down.
Well, already you're seeing a little bit of a struggle come out from the defense of Maryland inside the paint. That's going to be another 2 points up for the Terriers. So
Seymour,
we
I
need
have
to
to
see
say,
if you get something going here for Maryland.
Of course, and that was a fantastic play. You see them just using the Kobe jab step there to be able to trigger the flyby, to be able to get that easy shot. That's something that you're going to see due to, oh my God, it was a great shot.
And that's what you want. I mean, this is what I'm kind of waiting for Maryland. They've been going for a lot of three-point attempts. They finally drive one in. You see other side of the Terriers, they're just not able to replicate. And this is a good chance to see if you can flip this lead now for Maryland. Driving back down the court for 3, just wide off the net. And it's not going to be successful back down. It's going to be, it looks like a foul play.
That's definitely a tough one right there. It was an open shot. It's only a 4%, but you have to be able to green that if you're going to be that aggressive early.
Well, still with a chance here, as there's a couple opportunities for Maryland from 3, and that's going to give them the lead. 8-6 for Maryland. Terriers is something they got to worry about. Maryland are out to play.
Not wrong. And this is really this first quarter as teams, you're looking to kind of just feel each other out, see exactly what style you like, what side of the floor each person likes to perform on, so you can be able to make those adjustments as the game goes on.
Right. So far, so good, I'd say, for Maryland from what we've been looking for in terms of finding themselves offensive opportunities, shutting down that defense when they can. Trez over to Vibes. See if you can cross something up over to the corner. Are you going to see another three-point attempt into the paint? Back out to Clue, but haven't been able to shake this defense just yet from downtown. It's good. Another 3 for Maryland.
That is a nasty shot. Just being able to hit that back turbo fade. Oh, it's not as easy as it used to be season 1. Let me tell you, Seymour.
Not at all. Not with these Terriers barking down your neck. Looking for an answer back, though, is St. Francis just not able to drive the net. See, it looks like we are getting it back down to a little bit of a play in here for St. Francis, but looks like we got a foul coming up. Venom's going to be taking the shots.
Definitely a tough one right there, Seymour. You wound up going for the intentional to be able to keep the second chance point from happening, but you try and go for the fluky off the inbound, which now puts you completely into the bonus. And now you have to be able to play out this entire quarter being in the bonus, which can be a little bit tough.
Can be. Not for Maryland so far, though. Still holding on to a 1-point lead. Nice cross up there from Clue. It's open for the shot. And it's in. 13-10 for Maryland, still keeping themselves ahead.
Of course, and just so the chat and everybody knows, when you see that little fire symbol that was by his by his turbo bar, that means he had heat check. The other one is called two-way, which gives you a plus 25 to all of your different stats. So those are two things that we really need to factor in throughout this entire game.
See if things get hot. It's much Clue again. For the pain, he's going to go right for it and still holding on to a one-possession game. Terriers see if they can put themselves back in the lead with a good 3. Calling in for the pain, and that's going to keep it tied in. And a shooting foul here. And 1 coming up for the Terriers. So they're going to go for the extra point and take their lead.
Talk about answering midi fade with midi fade. Right there, Venom being aggressive. And this is something, if you know that you're giving up these easy midi fades, you need to be able to play a little bit lower to be able to deny that. As you see another 3 come up there.
I mean, that is just good, though, from Maryland, just continuing to attack, not laying off the pressure, keeping the Terriers behind. Foul going to be called on Maryland, though, it seems. So slips another foul there, is going to give some free throw attempts in from Shows. And he's only good for the 1.
That's something to definitely take into account a little bit, going forward, is what his free throw is. That's somebody you might want to start fouling later on down the line as this game goes. Ooh, overdose.
Nice. One possession game, as it looks like the time's going to expire as we head into the second quarter. Lead for Maryland and in for the dunk as well. Going to push it to a 2-possession lead.
And honestly, that was a fantastic play right there. Quick bucks, quick cut. People, when they see that sort of bucks action to the reset, you think that the wrap is going to happen behind it. They wound up just cutting immediately, catching them off guard for the easy 2 points.
Well, Maryland have a good chance to drive this lead even further now, as haven't seen St. Francis get anything going on their offense, which we talk about for St. Francis is something that is surprising considering how good they've been throughout the season. So throughout the tournament, just in general. So maybe here in the second quarter, we could see them turn up, and Venom from outside the paint for 3. It's good. Up to 20, brings it back to a 2-point game.
30% contested on that shot. I know if I'm the lock, I'm like, man, come on, we got to do something here. But he's just having his way.
Yes, he is. But good for Maryland, though, continuing to just not let up on this pressure. 24-20 outside again, going for 3. Not going to get it. Shows back out to Mixtapes. Nice play to get open, and at least he's going to drive some points in for the Terriers.
That is tough. This is just due to a lot of the aggressiveness. You're getting a lot of those blow-bys because you're trying to force them off the line, funnel them off the line. And you're going to have to figure out a way to be able to slow them down. But hey, if I'm giving up points, I'm making sure it's a 2.
Well, there's another 3 for Maryland. 27 for them. They're electric in the second quarter, just continuing to keep ahead of St. Francis. Venom, 2-man coverage, going to hold on to the ball outside the Mixtapes into the corner. Idle, and it's good for 3.
It's a great way to swing it just off that tip pass. You got to make the extra pass. But Clue here with the second heat check of the game already. 17 points, really going crazy. And just pretty much anything off deep bomber at this point, which is something that really needs to be taken into account going into the last half of this quarter.
Oh, Venom. In for the shot. There it is. Lead now for St. Francis as Maryland have let off the gas for a quick second. Clue looking to stay hot here, though. Back down the other side, and it's a foul called on St. Francis. So, no, actually, it's slips for the play-in. Clue. See if you can get something going here for the team, and he will.
That boy is sliding right now, Seymour. He is sliding. You see that right into the D-book, into the crab. He's just getting everything he wants.
One-point game, 2 minutes 32 up now for Maryland. Venom doing his best here. Two-man coverage into Shows. Going for the layup. He's going to hold on, and a timeout called from St. Francis.
That's a very smart timeout by Mixtapes right there. You tried to be able to funnel it down really quickly, try to make the extra, but they wound up getting that tip pass. The one thing that I'm noticing too is that on both sides, both locks are kind of pressing and getting beat up the floor very quickly, which is allowing these guards to be able to just have whatever they want coming up the floor into that shot. You have, if you're going to wind up pressing like this and getting beat, you might as well just play back a little bit more.
Maryland back down court. It's interrupted, and that's going to be open for Ido to dunk it down home. Tie game in the second quarter.
That is a fantastic play by Ado right there. That's something that I saw on film too, where they try and make that cross-court pass, which is easily baitable and easily stolen. So that's really good on Ado to be able to take advantage of that, make sure if he was watching film ahead of time or if it was just instinct to be able to make the play when he needed to make the play.
Slips in for Clue. Back out. Playing for those threes. You can see and on coverage, and it's going to be another turnover. Back down for Mixtape. Nobody's there to stop him. Another dunk for the Terriers.
Was that Ado again with another lane? And he goes for the blitz!
Oh my. This is just getting out of hand now. As the defense for St. Francis really giving Maryland some trouble towards the end of the second quarter. 51 seconds left, Joe, and this is starting to get a little bit scarier as this is where it seems the Terriers are looking to bring up the heat.
That was a fantastic use of two-way right there. Him just being able to get that, has two-way on the other side. Well, I mean, honestly, he just had momentum and just another easy dunk right there. This is where St. Francis and Terriers really just started to take off. You have to be able to slow them down. You can see Clue just went from no turnovers, playing a clean game, to now 3 getting blocked. He's starting to force. He needs to slow himself down and use his teammates.
Yeah, it was so controlled until it wasn't. Shows another one. It's showtime for the Terriers, and they are dialing things up to 11. 21 seconds left in the second quarter, and you can see now Clue with possession. See if he can get another 3 off here inside the paint over towards Trez. We drop back out. They have so much to deal with right now. Ice out in the corner as you can see some help there from Trez going into drive in for the layup, but it's going to be a little wide, and we got back down the court. Not going to get there in time, and it looks like we are done with the second quarter.
Yeah, that was definitely a tough take. I think you had a few more seconds that you could have been able to do something with, but this is where you're kind of getting flustered, right? You have a 21-12, second quarter. You need to be able to slow it down. They have complete momentum. They're getting on the break. They're getting turnovers. You have to find other play calls and actions to be able to catch them off guard at this point.
Yeah, you saw Ado in the scorecard, 3 steals, and that's really where the momentum shifted. Trez knocking things down to a 4-point game. So see if Maryland can get that heat back that we saw throughout majority of this game.
Try and call the quick cut right there, getting the N1. But really the story of this one, I would have to say, Seymour, is just the poor play by the lock and back end combo for this Maryland team.
Gonna have to pick things up now as it's go time for Maryland. It's knocked out, and it looks like Mixtape's going to be the slide out here. Slips into Trez. Trez back out to Clue. Looking for the 3, but coverage is just too much to deal with. Back out to Clue. See if he can get a shot off. In for 5. Still nothing, though. The defense is all over it. Forces the 3 shot. Is not going to be good.
And that is a great play right there by them. And you see they're getting everything they want at this point. Now you have another foul. You're getting flustered because you feel like everybody has to play Superman at this point. All right, I need to make a big play. As you see another reach that gives up another 3. It's just, this is the snowball effect that we talk about, Seymour. It's just from here, if you're not utilizing your timeouts, slowing down pace, and just getting easy points, it's going to get ugly from here.
Well, there it is. Although, is it going to be enough? You see a lot from Maryland to knock down this lead. St. Francis in the flow state. Venom, I was going to say that would be disgusting, but chance here for Maryland. See if they can get another set of points on. Clue outside. It's good. Buttery. But it's only 2.
It's his go-to at this point. Just trying to go for the crab off the D-book. He's getting it. The defense isn't really playing it correctly.
There it is. 3-point game. Maryland have brought things back.
That is a big play right there. That is a momentum shift. As a lock, those are the
Another
game changers.
one.
As he gets another one. Oh, he's tearing it off.
Oh, what an opportunity that would have been for Maryland, Joe, but not yet. 1-point game. I mean, that is a big moment, though, for Maryland because things were starting to get real out of hand. You started to see that the water was flowing over for St. Francis. So the fact that they're able to stop that, here's a real good chance in game 1.
Sure. That's just great back-to-back defensive possessions by Kirkview.
Here we go for vibes. See if we can have an opening here. Drops back. In through the center outside to Clue. Clue trying to get open, but it's Kirked back over towards Clue. And into Trez looking for the layup and not able to knock it down. So here we go for St. Francis back on down. Venom in control. Can he do it again outside for the points in the paint? And of course, Venom, he's not going to miss that.
He's just getting the fades. He's just getting right to his spots. This is what we talk about being comfortable. Despite giving up those 2 ones, as you see the easy quick cut, that's just a staple. That is 2K Pro-Am 101 at that point. You've seen both teams use it.
Oh, looks like foul is going to be called there from Kurt. So it's St. Francis ball. Venom. And he just goes right for the drive. Oh, what a shot there. No hesitation.
And you can kind of see exactly what he was looking for there due to the leverage and positioning of the lockdown. He saw that the lockdown was kind of on his hip where he knew that he could just be able to activate that Kobe jab step and it'll give him an easy open shot. It's something that guards really manipulate and use. And just, and the missed shot right there. But you have to be able to stop down that Kobe jab step if you want to be able to pretty much stop some of these guards.
You just got to stop Venom at this point. He is getting hot. Back in for Maryland's 5-point game. See if they can put some points up in for the dunk. Nice drive. Knocks it down to 3 difference.
Nice call in the hash cut. Wasn't the greatest pick right there by the center, but it still worked.
Another 3 for St. Francis. So last minute into the 3rd quarter. See if you can get something going before heading into the 4th. See if you can bring this back to a close game. Another dunk up front from Maryland. Although 3-point game, you need a little bit more now. Venom and coverage. Still looking to find his way around. Just outside, a monster from downtown again. Venom, he's just not missing.
Wow, I know he's sick. Only a 6% off that, but if you recognize he really is just kind of going back to the right, trying to activate that D-book, get him to fight for it, bait, as you see, a nice midi right there, and then just going right for it. You just have to be able to slow him down or even come up and trap him when they're high wing.
20 seconds in the 3rd quarter. Shows back outside, mixtape for 3, and it's good. So St. Francis looking ahead into the 4th quarter with a dominating lead in game 1 of the grand finals. And Chloe going to drive forward towards Trez. Trez looking to see if he can knock down one more basket. 3 seconds outside. Vibes has to go for the shot, and it's just not going to get off in time. So heading into the 4th quarter, it's a 7-point game for St. Francis.
Key factors right here, too, is that St. Francis only has 1 timeout for the rest of the game. It's something that you really have to pay attention to if momentum starts to shift. But for Maryland, now, we can't take these timeouts with us. If they keep scoring at the clip they're scoring, I know that Venom has takeover. I'm going to use them to be able to cut his takeover down as much as possible to help us in this game.
Venom's going to get around, open shot, and knocking down some points. 9-point game for St. Francis. They just continue to drive this lead forward. Clue on the other side. Outside towards Vibes. Vibes open for 3. That's a good shot there. Points and momentum for Maryland to work off of.
I'm just saying, Seymour. Leon Thomas said it the best. Take your time, what's the rush? Exact, great patience, gets a nice shot up. Beautiful.
Anything there for Vibes to just keep Maryland in this game, but you got 4 minutes to show us exactly what you got in this grand final for game one. Trez for the dunk, 57 points for Maryland, and they need to shut down Venom on the offense.
Honestly, there's a lot of film of this pick and roll and just how Locke's playing on-ball defense currently. There's a lot to break down. There's some stuff that he can definitely do better. You can exactly see why Venom is doing what he's doing for this entire game.
Here we go for Maryland. Another foul on St. Francis. So
Foul, but pay attention right here, Seymour. You see that plane by Clue's feet? That's called deep bomber. That's his takeover ability where he's going to be able to shoot from Steph Curry range, just the logo range. So it really opens up the spacing of the floor of what this Maryland team's offense can be.
Blue looking to turn up for the team, and it's another missed opportunity for St. Francis. Maryland on the other side, but it's going to be a turnover towards Venom now. Back down. That could have been such a good opportunity for Maryland to bring things back into a one-possession game. Instead, Mixtape going to keep it to 2.
Beautiful wrap cut right there. They're worried about the three. They're completely focused. Easy cut to the basket. Why worry about threes when you can just be able to take twos to continue this lead?
Well, at least you're starting to get some pressure in from Maryland's, their offense connecting with these shots. Venom outside. He's trying to find his way around this defense, and you just cannot cover. He's too fast.
He's pretty much, left, right, speed boosting at this point. And just the lock, he's just playing too far under. And honestly, holding a little bit too much L2 and right stick up, which is honestly just putting him in a bad spot. As you see the deep bomber finally hit.
I was going to say, there's that deep bomb coming out from Clue. Again, though, still 2-point game, 2-possession game in St. Francis' favor heading into just over a minute and a half. Here's an opportunity for Maryland. You can see the defense is all over them, but here we go. Personal foul on Shows. There we see for a second, 69-65.
So that's a big foul right there. Not only the fact that that is their foul to get for the rest of this game, but also I think they accidentally used their timeout as well. So they have no more timeouts for the rest of the game.
Clue no longer with the deep bomb. Can this be his chance to bring things back outside the Trez? Back to Clue. And he's trying to drive this one home, but timeout's going to be called from Maryland's side.
Honestly, that's very smart right there. They were kind of forcing it, doing a little too much. They were looking for a quick pick and pop. It wasn't there. And then just great way to use the timeout. You have 3. Perfect.
Here's Clue still looking to knock down that lead. 3, not going to land. Trez still in control. Foul on Shows.
Wow, that is a big board right there by Trez. But it might be an even better foul by Shows, depending on if he hits this.
Oh.
Wow. He missed
Could
both.
have been something there. Could have been something, but now for St. Francis, minute left in this game. Can they put this lead into 3-possession difference? Not going to be good for the point, so back down, trying to work fast now. Last minute of play for Clue outside for 3, and he nails it. 68-69, 1-point game.
Wow, the one person you cannot lose on offense. You lost giving up a key 3 that only takes it down to a 1-point lead.
8-0, it's good. Still in control for St. Francis, 33 seconds. Last chance here in game number 1, you'd say, for Maryland to get something going. Clue going to be driving on down. He does have that deep bomb, but everybody's just worried about this. It's going to be a steal. 20 seconds, and you're working the clock now if you're St. Francis.
You got to step up on him. He still has badge.
He misses. Trez still trying to get some points. Clue Not going to be 3, but it's not even going to be in. 4 seconds left, and St. Francis running it back down. A shot from all the way across the court just for the cherry on top. And that's game 1 going to St. Francis College. They're going to lead this best of 3. What a nail biter towards the end.